The year was 1981. The city, Chicago, a bustling metropolis known for its towering skyscrapers and vibrant culture. But as night fell, a creeping terror began to weave itself into the fabric of the city. The once lively streets turned into a labyrinth of fear and uncertainty. Young women, once filled with dreams and aspirations, were vanishing from the streets without a trace. Their absence left a void that echoed through the hearts of their loved ones. Their disappearances, shrouded in mystery, left a city holding its breath. The fear was palpable, a silent scream that resonated through every alley and street corner. Whispers of a new breed of predator spread like wildfire, igniting a fear that would forever stain the annals of the windy city. The city was gripped by an invisible hand of terror. This was not the work of a lone wolf, a solitary deviant seeking to satisfy a personal demon. It was something far more sinister, lurking in the shadows. This was something far more sinister, far more organized, a malevolent force that operated with chilling precision and cold-blooded intent. This was the handiwork of the Chicago Rippers, a depraved cult driven by an unholy thirst for blood and an insatiable hunger for the macabre. Their actions were a grotesque symphony of horror. The city watched in horror as the body count climbed. Each new victim added to the growing sense of dread that permeated the air. Each victim, a stark reminder of the evil that lurked beneath the veneer of normalcy. The community mourned, their grief a testament to the lives cut short. The victims, often young and vulnerable, were snatched from their lives with a chilling randomness that amplified the terror. Their stories, tragically intertwined by fate and brutality, would become a grim testament to the depths of human depravity. Their stories, tragically intertwined by fate and brutality, would become a grim testament to the depths of human depravity. Families were left shattered, their lives forever changed by the monstrous acts. The Chicago Rippers, a name whispered in hushed tones, would become synonymous with the darkest chapter in the city's history. A chapter that would haunt the collective memory of Chicago for generations to come. At the heart of this nightmare stood Robin Gecht, the enigmatic and chilling figure who orchestrated the reign of the Chicago Rippers. His presence was both magnetic and terrifying, drawing in those who were vulnerable to his dark allure. More than just a killer, Gecht was a charismatic manipulator, a master puppeteer who pulled the strings of his deadly entourage. His ability to control and influence those around him was nothing short of sinister. Gecht, a man of unsettling charm and chilling charisma, assembled a crew of lost souls, each drawn to his warped vision of power and perverse desires. These individuals, who might have otherwise led ordinary lives, found themselves ensnared in his malevolent web. These were not hardened criminals, not seasoned predators. They were young men, seemingly ordinary, who, under Gecht's influence, would transform into instruments of unimaginable cruelty. They were young men, seemingly ordinary, who, under Gecht's influence, would transform into instruments of unimaginable cruelty. Their transformation was both shocking and horrifying, a testament to the power of Gecht's dark charisma. Edward Spritzer, a young man easily swayed by Gecht's magnetism, became a devoted follower, his loyalty a testament to the cult leader's manipulative power. Spritzer's descent into darkness was swift and irreversible. Andrew and Thomas Kokoraleis, brothers bound by blood and united in darkness, would join Gecht's gruesome crusade, their descent into depravity a chilling reminder of the insidious nature of evil. The brothers, once inseparable in innocence, became partners in crime. Together, this quartet formed the core of the Chicago Rippers, each member playing a distinct and terrifying role in the group's reign of terror. Their collective actions would leave an indelible mark on the annals of crime history. Their motivations, a toxic cocktail of twisted desires and blind obedience, would fuel their murderous rampage, leaving a trail of blood and broken lives in its wake. The legacy of their crimes would haunt the city of Chicago for years to come. The streets of Chicago became their hunting grounds. The urban landscape transformed into a macabre tapestry of fear. The Rippers, driven by an insatiable thirst for blood, stalked their prey with a chilling efficiency that spoke to their twisted camaraderie. Their victims, often young women walking alone or separated from the safety of crowds, were carefully selected, their vulnerability a cruel beacon to the predators circling in the shadows. The Rippers, masters of deception, would lure their victims with a terrifying combination of charm and authority. Posing as police officers, offering assistance, or simply engaging in seemingly harmless conversation, they exploited the trust of their victims, turning everyday interactions into nightmares. The red van, a symbol of normalcy transformed into a harbinger of doom, became their mobile torture chamber, whisking their victims away from the familiar and into the abyss. Once inside the van, the charade of normalcy evaporated, replaced by the chilling reality of the Rippers' true intentions. The victims, trapped and terrified, were at the mercy of their captors, their pleas for mercy swallowed by the darkness. Inside the confines of the van, the true extent of the Rippers' depravity unfolded. It was here, in this mobile chamber of horrors, that their darkest fantasies were brought to life, away from prying eyes and the light of day. The victims, stripped of their dignity and humanity, were subjected to unimaginable horrors, their screams silenced by the night. Each moment was a living nightmare, a descent into a hellish reality from which there was no escape. Sexual assault, a grotesque display of power and domination, became a hallmark of their crimes, a perverse ritual designed to degrade and dehumanize. The Rippers revelled in the suffering they inflicted, each act a testament to their twisted sense of control. But it was the mutilations, the grotesque desecration of their victims' bodies, that truly set the Chicago Rippers apart, etching their crimes into the nightmares of a city. The brutality of their actions left scars not just on the bodies of their victims, but on the very soul of the community. Driven by a twisted ideology and fueled by Gecht's pronouncements, the Rippers believed that consuming their victims' body parts, particularly the breasts, would bring them closer to a dark and powerful force. This belief was not just a justification for their actions, but a core part of their identity. These acts of cannibalism, far from random acts of violence, were meticulously planned and executed, each incision, each bite imbued with a chilling sense of purpose. The Rippers saw themselves as participants in a macabre ritual, each act a step deeper into their own darkness. The ritualistic nature of their crimes, the almost surgical precision with which they mutilated their victims, pointed to a darkness that transcended even the most depraved desires. It was as if they were following a script written by some ancient, malevolent force. The details, too gruesome to fully comprehend, sent shockwaves through the city, confirming the darkest fears of a community held captive by terror. Each new revelation added to the growing sense of dread, a reminder of the evil lurking in their midst. The Chicago Rippers, it became horrifyingly clear, were not driven by mere bloodlust, but by something far more sinister, far more ancient and evil. Their actions were a manifestation of a darkness that defied understanding, a malevolence that seemed to have no end. Well, the investigation was like piecing together a jigsaw puzzle in the dark. The detectives, they worked tirelessly, following every lead, no matter how small, each clue, every bit of evidence. It all started to form a clearer picture. And then there was that breakthrough moment, the kind that makes all the hard work worth it. They found the missing piece, the one that tied everything together. With the evidence in hand, they moved quickly. The apprehension was swift and precise, just like in the movies, but with a lot more paperwork. The suspect was caught, and justice, well, it was finally within reach. This case, it showed the true grit and determination of those who seek the truth. It was a testament to their unwavering dedication and, their relentless pursuit of justice. The trials were a spectacle, capturing the public's imagination like nothing else. Each member of the Ripper crew faced the harsh glare of justice. Testimonies were chilling, the evidence overwhelming. Sentencing was swift and severe, with the courtroom echoing the weight of their crimes. Justice, it seemed, had finally caught up with them. The Ripper crew's gruesome acts were often linked to satanic rituals, adding another layer of horror to their story. Speculation ran wild, with many believing their crimes were fueled by dark, otherworldly forces. Symbols and signs found at the crime scenes only deepened the mystery. It was a terrifying blend of reality and superstition that left the community on edge. Even after their capture, the shadow of the Ripper crew loomed large. Their heinous acts left scars that would never fully heal. Families were shattered, and the community struggled to find peace. The impact was felt far and wide, a grim reminder of the horrors that had unfolded. The legacy of the Ripper crew is one of fear and caution. Their name still evokes a shiver, a reminder of the darkness that can lurk in the human soul. For many, the fear they instilled has never truly faded. It serves as a stark warning, a tale of terror that continues to haunt the collective memory.